Next up, we have Babaroque original mix by cYsmix. Topic featured in Geometry Dash is my understanding. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what is happening here, musically. So if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Two things before the disclaimers. Number one, if we somehow hit the 10,000 subscriber mark before Christmas 2025, I will take a single fan fiction of the choice of the community, one fan fiction of the choice of the community, and I will produce an audiobook. I will produce, voice act, an audiobook of said fan fiction. It has to be achieved through legitimate means, though, so no botting, no account duping, nothing like that. Sharing and using the hype function. I know we have a group on the Discord that is taking advantage of the hype function and whatnot. So that, and number two, members. If you are a paid member on YouTube, you get access to the content early. I schedule the videos for the week on Saturdays, and if you are a paid member on YouTube, you get access to the week's worth of videos on Saturdays when I schedule the videos. So consider becoming a member today. Two disclaimers. Number one, this is my first time hearing this track ever, so I will be pausing a lot and I will be speaking a lot as I will be pointing things out and explaining things as I hear them or as I realize them. And number two, this is recorded live on stream on a single take. I'm pretty sure I already stumbled upon my words. I will do it again. Whatever happens, happens. With that being said, let's do this. Babaroque. Let's go. Okay, we start with a couple of elements. We start with our drum kit giving us the first beat. Then we have two more elements, I think. We have two more synths. One of them giving us this rhythm synth going up and down a set of notes, giving us what would be called an ostinato. So ostinato is when you just repeat something over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And then we get one more synth giving us a chord. This one that sounds a little bit like air-y-esque. It has the kind of sound. Yeah, that giving us either the downbeat or the starting of the whatever section or group of bars that we are doing. So with that, let's see where this goes. Fonzie, welcome today. How you doing? And H6, welcome today. How you doing? Alright, there you go. So we have a brief moment. We bring in the piano, and the piano has what I believe could be our motif. Motif being the smallest version of your musical idea, the seed, the essence from which everything else comes from. Very, very simple melody, basically just going upwards, and we just reintroduce it into the rest of the music. Zinjun, welcome today. How you doing? So right before that, when the piano started playing, we went what I like to call off the ramp. Off the ramp being a colloquial term, but that I mean there's no academic official term for it, or at least I'm not using it for the sake of simplicity. And off the ramp is what I call a transition. It can be as short as a couple of beats as it was in this one. Can be as long as an entire section, and the purpose of it is to make your listener feel suspended up in the air, the mercy of inertia, kind of like going off a ramp, waiting to see where we land. How do you do that? Remove the drums, maybe the bass as well, which is what happened here just now. With that, let's see where this goes. We introduce the bass. Ooh, I like it. Okay, so we introduce now the bass, giving us a bit of a syncopated feeling compared to the rest of the drums. So there are two main ways that you can do your bass. You can lock in your bass with the bass drum, or you can do what is called syncopation. So let me go for the concept of that. So when you're making music, you have three elements: melody, harmony, rhythm. Rhythm is the use of time. How fast things happen, how slow things happen, when they happen, duration, beats, all that kind of stuff. And then time is subdivided into bars or measures. These are two interchangeable terms. They mean the exact same thing. It might piss off the academics that I called measures bars, because bars is a jazz term and measures is a classical term. Don't really matter. So bars and measures, that's usually how small, and that's how you're going to determine your beat. And then with that, you are going to then determine your beat with a time signature. And a time signature is made out of two numbers: upper number, lower number. So upper number is going to give you the number of beats. The lower number is going to give you the type of beats that you get. In English, it's pretty easy to remember. So whole notes is represented by the number 1, half notes number 2, quarter notes number 4, eighth notes number 8, 16th notes number 16, so on and so forth. As if you could surmise, one whole note contains 2 half notes, 1 half note, 2 quarter notes, 1 quarter note, 2 eighth notes, 1 eighth note, 2 sixteenths, so on and so forth. So you basically just keep dividing in half. So 4/4 is the most common type of bar that you will get in of time signature that you're going to get in Western music for quarter notes, which you are going to count as follows. You're going to count the quarter notes 1, 2, 3, and 4, because, well, that's the number of quarter notes that you have in a measure, and you're just going to count 1 through 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Simple as. So anything that the academics get angry if you call music with no lyrics a song, some of them will. Some of them will. And the funniest thing that you can do against an academic is go to them, pick a random composer from the 20th century. Like, we're talking, I don't know, like anyone from John Cage or Schoenberg, or I think Berlioz is there. One of those like super hyper intellectualized, the ones that they intellectualized music so much that they stopped making it and they started just making noise, and call it noise or garbage. It's gonna be hilarious. So yes, Eleanor, welcome today. How you doing? So yes, so anything that would then hit on any of these beats, we would call on beat. So if you have a rhythm or any sort of melody that goes within those beats, so let's say I'm going to count and then I'm going to strike with my snapping the whatever motif I have, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is on beat. However, if you put anything that is not on beat, that would be off beat, we call that syncopation. So if we were to put that to the same principle, we would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you start seeing that little sense of pushing and everything. And if you do that with your bass, especially if you end up taking, let's say, as I said, and every quarter note has 2 eighth notes, which means you can put eighth notes between each quarter note, and you can get things real complicated, right? So if we put those, and we have on beat, on the beats, the kick drum or the bass drum, and then in between we have the bass, we get exactly what is happening here. And after that, while we are getting those, we are also getting the synth with that had the ostinato, and we are developing that ever so slightly with the other one. So we're swapping between the bass and then that other synth, the accompaniment synth, giving us that back and forth, and that alone is giving us, well, this. Creator, welcome today, and Rumazita, welcome today. How you doing? Now we have both at the same time. Nice, we bring things forward a bit more. So now we have gone from making these things a little bit more, that used to be a bit more on the staccato side, which was shorter bursts, a bit more crisp, and now we are starting to kind of muddy them, like the notes are starting to drag along a little bit more in what we would call legato. So staccato is short burst. Pop, 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 pop. Then you have legato, which is longer, just holding out the long ba 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 ba, that kind of thing. And now we have legato. So Freaky Ping, welcome today, how you doing? You remember me? I don't remember most things. Like, I forgot, today, I took today and tomorrow off work, and I had forgotten that I had taken today and tomorrow off. I almost showed up to work today when I was supposed to be on holiday, taking the day off. Again. It had already happened once. Thankfully, I worked from home, so it was, just opening and closing the laptop. But yeah, it had already happened to me before that I showed up to work, like I opened my laptop, did a full days of work, just to realize at the end of the day that I wasn't supposed to. Yeah, they they yelled at me for that. All right, let's see where this goes. So yeah, now we are getting these a little bit more on the legato side, and yes, this is live cue. This is the first one of the day. So yeah, let's see where this goes. Oh, we bring it up towards a drop, I guess. Okay, so we bring this, we tease a dropping of the beat, but then instead of that, we go off the ramp in a very interesting way, because we take away the main drums that we had, and we bring in these obfuscated, these more opaque drums further in the background with this choral-esque sample, these vocal samples, giving us the chords. Very, very interesting way of going off the ramp, giving us in a, I would say in a more meta sense, a rhythmic, some rhythmic displacement. So rhythmic displacement is usually, well, displacing the rhythm. You're either pushing things so that they happen later or earlier, either or, and we are also engaging in going off the ramp. So again, when you're making music, you're doing one of two things. You are building tension or you are resolving that tension. That point in between we call cadence. Cadence. So in this case, you heard that build up towards the cadence. It was literally the notes going up, right? Like it was going up and up and up. And then we took this moment, and instead of using pure silence, as we've heard in other tracks before, instead of doing silence, we just added another actual phantom area that is made of something else. Well, let's see how this resolves, because now we are building more tension from this while delaying the drop. So let's see where this goes. Okay, we get a vocal sample, a violin sample, and this piano. It's kind of like a piano with a chime, giving us these melodies are not really fully related. These are more like all of these are more what we would call cadential phrases. So in music, I mentioned the idea of the motif, right, which is your smallest version of your musical idea. Then you can develop your motif into a phrase, and usually you will have two sides of a phrase or a melody. You will have your motific development, and then you will have your cadence. For example, and the cadences will very much they are very cliche. They are very much there to help you land whatever chord you're trying to land in or whatever melody you're trying to do. For example, an example of a cadential melody or a cadential part of a melody would be bum bum. That whole thing, that is a cadence. It's something that leads you to a cadence. Or for example, bum 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 bum, that kind of thing, that direction that is not really unique to any one melody, but it helps you finish and wrap up the melody, kind of like how at the end of every sentence we use a period or a question mark or an exclamation or some sort of punctuation mark. The punctuation marks are always going to be the same. However, that does not take away from the contents of the sentence and how creative or how unique the contents of the sentence might be. So see it that kind of way. And right now in this section, we are mostly using that. We are going through some very, very cliche phrasings over here that, in my opinion, are just delaying the drop. And by the way, don't request songs just yet because requests are not open right now. And yes, today is a full stream. So yeah, let's see where this goes. And oh, let me go back a few seconds so we can hear this again. Oh, a bit more. From this note. Pure the cadential. We bring in the drums. Pure cadence. Oh! Oh, that is effective. We engaged in our rhythmic displacement using entirely cadential, purely with cadential sentences or phrasings over there. That was very much just filler and padding, but it was executed so well that now we've entered the drop. We have resolved this, and we immediately go off with the drop. We're taking elements from this area as well from the build-up that we were doing before. And oh my god, this is awesome. Let's see where it goes. So we are taking some of the rhythms we saw at the start. We're taking the bass line that we already had. We are using some of the chords we put in this in-between area. So the in-between area wasn't entirely for waste. It wasn't entirely pointless. So it was there to build up more material that we were going to get in this kind of drop, which is kind of the polar opposite of what you do with drops. Because usually when you're making music, you want a very careful balance between what is familiar and what is new. Too much familiarity, too much of the same thing, too much repetition, you risk boring the listener, they tune out. Too much new material too quickly, you risk overwhelming the listener, they tune out. There are exceptions though. One of the exceptions is solos. This is a universal exception. So no matter which genre you're in, if you get a solo, you don't need to worry about, oh, am I using the motif? Am I revisiting material? It's there as long as it sounds cool, it sounds cool. Electronic music has an additional one, which is dropping the beat. And I'm pretty sure other genres will have their versions of this kind of thing as well. And usually in electronic music, when you hear them drop the beat, they will just bring completely unrelated material just because it sounds cool. Yeah, it's that simple, right? However, what has happened here with cYsmix, we are just using a new combination of all of the material we've used for the past minute and a half, and we're using that as the drop with a bit of, it sounds like there's side chaining here too. So side chaining is basically, so if we go back to the concept of the time signature, right? So we have 4/4, we have the 4 beats over here, and then we have the end of the bar. So side chaining, the way it works is that, let's say this line here is the volume, and volume goes down when the quarter note hits, and then it goes back up, and then back down, and then back up, then back down. So whenever the in this case would be the bass drum hits, the volume of everything else quickly goes back down, then back up. Zelnick, welcome today, man. How you doing? So yeah, we're having that, and on top of that, we are using all of these other elements. It's a really cool combination, especially considering that we are revisiting material. So let's see where it goes. Douglas, welcome today. How you doing? Okay, and it turns out we are getting some of that initial ostinato as well, but it is being side-chained, which gives us this very interesting effect on that. This is really, really cool. Gab, welcome today. How you doing? Nighty, welcome today. How you doing? Yep, there's those chords again. So yeah, now we're just layering everything together. Nice. So what used to be the ostinato at the very beginning now is being used to go around the chords and giving us basically arpeggiation. Arpeggiation or arpeggios is when you play a chord one note at a time instead of all of them at the same time, and pretty cool. Let's see how it goes. And off the ramp we go again. Off the ramp we go. We replace the bass drum with a more... I'm gonna call it a neutered version of the bass drum. So we are still getting the beat, it just doesn't have the bass anymore. We're still getting the drum, we're just not getting the bass with it. And we bring the string section back with the motif that the piano gave us that time ago. Let's see where it goes. Okay, and immediately we engage in two of the best ways of developing a motif. So, let me just hear how this goes. 3. Okay, we got all 4. We got all 4. Okay, so we got watched. So interesting watch you explain things. I appreciate it, Naidu. So we engaged in 4 ways of motific development. Number 1 was sequencing. Number 2 was inversion. Number 3 was elongation, and number 4 was reduction. So let me go through these one by one. So sequencing is when you take, and in this case, we have a very easy shape when it comes to our motif. It's just this kind of line. Sequencing is when you repeat a motif, but not from the exact same point in the scale. In this case, we had a sequence that basically we just went up in the scale. Then we engaged in inversion. Inversion in melody is when you take your motif and you flip it upside down. When you take a musical idea and you flip it upside down. So that's what we did. We sequenced it again. Instead, we went a little bit lower so that we could go even lower. Then we engaged in elongation. We brought back the motif, and elongation is to make something slower. So we just made it take a little bit longer. And then reduction with inversion to just very quickly drop the motif once again. And there you go. It gives us this very, very cool overall one. And then we elongate it again to kind of just give us a slower things. So there we go. The thing is, sometimes I'm explaining the same concept in many different songs. It gets repetitive. Aside from that, is it so entertaining? That's the thing, right? This might not be your first video, but it will be somebody's first video. And that's why I repeat the concepts. Because it's no longer layman-friendly. Because the point of this is that you don't need to know anything about music to be able to know to be able to understand these concepts, but I need to be able to explain them. That's why I repeat myself so much. Because it might not be your first video, but it's gonna be somebody else's first video. And yeah. Yeah, alright, let's continue. Elongation. Cadence. We bring back the piano with an elongated version. Oh, welcome today. How you doing? New version. Go Steampa, welcome today. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to today. How's it going? All right, let's see where it goes. We bring back. Okay, so we had this cadence before. Let me go back a couple of seconds. We had this exact cadence before, But last time when we used it, we did not drop the beat. We ended up in that very long rhythmic displacement off the ramp section. And now we don't tease it anymore because we are pretty much at the climax of this whole thing. Let's just see where it goes. Do you post all the analysis on YouTube? Every LFA eventually makes it to the channel. There's just a delay because I schedule the videos once a week. Like, I schedule everything on Saturday. We record these on stream throughout the week, and then Saturdays I schedule because I don't have the time and I can't afford an editor. So let's see where this goes. Oh, there it is. We bring back the same drop as before. Okay, we bring it back. Variation. Hell yeah. Oh. So yeah, musically, and Jake the Drake is here. Like, look at that. Welcome today. How you doing? So yes, now we are having this variation. It's kind of a one-to-one. It's a partial recapitulation of what we did before in the first drop, but this time we added a lot more flair. There is a more, I would say it's a lot more eccentric this time around. It has one of those synths that I'm gonna say sound a little bit more air-y. Yeah. A good climax. Let's see where it goes. With that initial ostinato giving us those arpeggios. Repeating. You repeat the phrase. Interesting. So for the outro, we go partially off the ramp by removing all of that bass that we had built throughout the entirety of the track. And this is cool. How about you you also tell the key and BPM of it? That's the thing. If I were to do that, I would have to sit down and spend a couple of hours analyzing this and going moment by moment, note by note. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I can. I'm just not going to, because then I have to take a lot of more time on this. So, yeah. And that's not what I'm explaining over here. So, yeah. No. Let's see where it goes. Basically, we mirror the start. Can you name the music genre? Electronic. We bring that that vocal thing, that vocal one last time. And there you go. A couple more repetitions of that it was a bit of an elongated version of that ostinato that we had before, with some of the new rhythms that we had during the dropping of the beat. And there you go. There you go. And then we just one last time we leave this with I think it was a half cadence. So again, when we're doing music, we have tension, resolution, moment in between being cadence, right? We have cadence, and there are many types of cadences, but one of them would be the half cadence, in which you take the resolution part and you don't do it. This is usually for the purpose of having the resolution being the start of the next section. It's a very good way of leading one track to another. Very, yeah. It's a risky move to engage in half cadences. It worked this time because then in your mind, it's just gonna repeat the song. And it's gonna make you more likely to be like, oh, that's how the song does the thing, so I'm just gonna play it again, or we're gonna go into the next song. So very good way of doing it. Half cadences can sometimes work against you, but that's that's neither here nor there. And there you go. That was Babaroque original mix by cYsmix. My understanding of this is featured in Geometry Dash. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here musically. So, if you're watching this on the YouTube video archive thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, challenge for y'all. If we somehow hit 10,000 subscribers before Christmas 2025, I will take a fan fiction, a single one fan fiction of the choice of the community about whatever y'all want, and I will fully produce and record and voice act an audiobook for it. It has to be reached through legitimate means, though. No account dupings, no botting, no buying things. It has to be done through sharing and the hype function. We do have a group on the Discord that is doing the hype thing on YouTube. I don't know how it works. Ask RPG. He's the one who's been organizing it. And members. So yes. If you like this video, like the video, share the video, comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Members, I schedule the videos for the week on Saturdays, and if you are a member on YouTube, you get early access to them. So yes, if you're a paid member, when I schedule the videos on Saturday, you get instant access to the videos of the week. So consider becoming a member today. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting every 3.5 seconds, I will be linking it in the description down below. If you want to request a song and you're not on the live stream, go to the Discord. It's linked in the description. Go to the LFA requests channel and follow the instructions on the pinned message. And if you want to catch the streams when they happen live, we aim for Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central European time. If you're not in Europe, no worries. No worries. We have the full up-to-date streaming schedule showing in your local time zone in both Discord and Twitch. They're both linked down below. So if you live in, I don't know, San Jose, and you're like, oh my god, but what time is 6 p.m. in Hungary? I don't live there. No need to worry. Just go to the Discord or the Twitch and you see them both showing in your local time zone. And follow the gaming channel. We have a gaming channel because, of course, we have a gaming channel. I'm on YouTube. What else could I possibly have? Games are Basterd. That's where I put the recordings of the gaming VOD after shows when they happen. Linked down below, or just search for the username on YouTube. Same as James R. Basterd. Just swap the J for a G, and you got it. And, yeah. There you go. There you go. Babaroque. Really fun stuff, dude. Really, really fun stuff. But, yeah, let's move on.